Yo, what up, yo? It's BX Juice. You already know I'm not a blood or a crip or none of that shit. I pop off regardless. I'm a Bronx kid. You heard? Welcome to Regular Real Shit Music TV. I'm your host, BX Juice. I fucking playing, man. What up, y'all? You already know, man. It's been a little minute. You heard? But I'm back. You already know. About to get back to business. Got to put this content out there. You already know. You heard? Yo, man. Yo, today I want to talk about being a teen and not being clean. You heard? Yeah, you heard. Um, this is a touchy feeling for a touchy subject for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I went through a lot. You know, being a teen and not being clean, man. We all supposed to be taught. And coming from a young age and stuff like that, because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be taught. You have your mom and your dad and stuff like that. You have your siblings around you, to teach you the things that you should be taught. You know what I'm saying? Because as a kid, you don't know no better. For me, it started the same. When I was a child, you know what I'm saying? I used to pee in the bed and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know y'all up on the stories and shit like that. Y'all watching Julius Darnell Lane's Life of Foster Care, story time. You know what I'm saying? Part one and all that. So I talk about a lot of that there. And like I said, I used to pee in the bed and shit like that. So my grandma, she did her best to make sure we was clean and took care of us and went to school with clean clothes, made sure we had clean clothes, made sure we was washed up and stuff like that. Those are your younger years when you are when you're a kid child and your parents take care of you, make sure you're clean and shit like that. I was always a heavy set kid. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the Bronx and shit, growing up on Webster Avenue. Like y'all know, so being a heavy set kid, man, and then at the same time, uh, just learning, not even learning, because you don't even, you don't really know. I just know getting in the bathtub, grandma. It's time to get in the bathtub, y'all. Let's go. And coming from that, so didn't really know what it's like to really mean to be clean and shit like that, because you don't know. You're a child. Um, but as you get older and stuff like that, and you know you're going to school, you're being around other kids and stuff like that. Of course, it's your parents' job to make sure you go to school and you're proper taken care of, and make sure your hygiene is taken care of in the way it should be. And boxers, underclothes, and stuff like that. Your parents should make sure you have that and you're clean in that manner, right? Sending you outside to school and being around other kids and stuff like that. And plus the teachers, because the teachers will look at you like, yo, why is this kid always, dirty and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, to other kids it seems funny and niggas be snapping and shit like that to other kids, but to adults and stuff like that, especially me being an adult now and understanding that, we have to take care of our fucking children and make sure it's up to us to make sure that their hygiene and stuff like that is together, and their clean clothes, socks, underwear, t-shirts, like I said, that they have all those things, and that those things, because they need those are necessities. And then the teaching part comes along. You gotta teach your children this, because now what happens is you start entering into get ready to be teenage years and stuff like that. Even when I was a teenager, once I got to like 11, because I moved to Queens when I was like 11. You know what I'm saying? Me and my brother Kev, we moved to Queens when we was like 11 with our cousins and shit like that, like y'all hear me talk about out there. So we moved out there like I was like around 11, about to be 12 and shit. And at that time, I still don't know that I should be getting in the shower every day and stuff like that. And kids, besides that, when you that age, kids don't be thinking about doing that, getting in the bathtub all the damn time. We're not thinking about that. This is why we have guardians and stuff like that to be like, hey, yo, you haven't been in the shower, and you need to get your ass in that shower. You know what I'm saying? So because if you that age, you're not thinking about all you want to do is go outside and play, pick up shit off the floor and put it on and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really paying attention at that age to that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? Being that age and stuff like that. Um, like I said, I was a heavy set kid, and then I peed in the bed too. So going to school sometimes like that, you're gonna have a little smell to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you gonna have that rank smell if you pee the bed and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes you get teased and shit like that, and that's what led me to being bad a lot in school and stuff like that, and fighting a lot because I figured if you diss my shit, but you can't beat me. You see what I'm saying? So I figured that. So niggas try to diss my shit, I'm fighting you, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who it was. I'm gonna fight you. You diss my shit. Um, because you can show off around other kids and the girls and shit, but when I say I bet you can't beat me, then niggas get quiet. You know what I'm saying? So that was my way of protecting myself, you know what I'm saying? Because, my hygiene wasn't taken care of. And like I said, that was a little bit younger age going into teenage years. Like I said, I still didn't really get it like that. Uh, I didn't get what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna act like I got what I wanted. May, Uncle Urban, they gave us what we needed and what we were supposed to have, and that's that. So, what I wanted, I don't think I was gonna get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Urban was kind of strict and stuff like that. May was really the one that'll really, take us out and go get us clothes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And sneakers and shit like that. Uncle Urban, that dude will make you wear travel fox, straight up, son. You know what I mean? But that's you know, but straight up, that's what he will make you do. May was the one that'll like take us out and get us our stuff and shit. So even then, like I said, wasn't really too much on that. Cleaning my hygiene and stuff like that. I'm still going into teenage years, still not understanding. Like I said, fast forward things. I get back to the Bronx and stuff. Now I'm back out of foster care with my mom on 161 and 163rd and Sherman Avenue and all that in the Bronx. So we back over there. Now I'm a full blown teenager, 13, 14. I'm 14, 15 now. You know what I'm saying? Still ain't grasping the concept of being clean. Um, so like I said, now I'm a teen and shit, man. And you know, I was the type of kid that when it come down to authority, like my parents, I listened, because that's where we came from. I was taught respect and all of that stuff for your elders and stuff like that. Of course, kids curse and all that stuff because I was bad and stuff, but more or less, I knew to respect my elders and stuff like that. And after I got like 12, 13, I wasn't really too much like I was when I was like a 10, 11 and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't a disrespectful kid and stuff like that. So now, like I said, I'll be back with our mom and stuff like that. So, I'm thinking like, dang, we're gonna get, everything that we want. My mom's gonna do this and that. And now, it's not to slander my mom or nothing like that, but it is what it is. This is what we thought, this is what I thought. And being a good kid and not disrespectful and stuff like that, and happy to be back with our mother and stuff like that. It was like, dang, man. So it's like any day now, you know what I'm saying? We still don't know the concept of going shopping and, asking mommy or anybody for anything. And the foster care and grandma, she just brought our stuff. We just was taking care of it like that. And, so we didn't really grasp that concept of asking. That stuff ain't start happening until like I said, once I'm back with my mom now, I turned like 14, 15. I'm outside, you know what I'm saying, all the time and shit like that. And going to school. I was going to Taft High School and shit like that, man. And being a teen and going to school and not being clean and not having clothes and or not being taught to wash up, you know what I'm saying? But how you gonna be taught to, how you gonna make a kid clean, wash himself up or wash up and stuff like that, and tell him to do that and teach him that way if he's not going to have clean stuff and underclothes and things like that to put on after they're out. Because I'm still a teen, I can't take care of myself, and I really still don't know no better. Everybody want to act like teens and stuff like that, like we know better. Yeah, we know right from wrong, but you really don't know fucking better when you get into that. When you get in higher up in things and stuff like that. So so you can't tell somebody, you can't teach somebody to get in the shower and take a shower or take baths and stuff like that. When you, especially if, as a parent, then you, because you're supposed to have the things that they need after they take that shower and bath to put on. Now, yo, now go get your ass in the shower. Now, good. Your ass, you feel clean now, right? Now, go put those boxes on. You got boxes and stuff out there. Yo, Kevin Jr., your boxes and stuff is on the bed or whatever the case may be. And, so that's what's supposed to happen. Um, I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that. Um, and that after a while that started to take a toll on me, because I, like I said, I'm a teenager, I'm a teen, I'm outside, got a lot of friends and stuff like that, and then I'm starting to get into girls and stuff like that, but I'm always dirty, wearing my pants down, that type of shit, seeing that when I see these kids with their pants hanging, it embarrasses me of not them, it embarrasses me of myself, because I remember when I used to do that and I had no thought about nothing, my drawers dirty, all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? And now, so when I think about that stuff as today, I say, dag, man, of course you can't, you don't, as an adult, they tell you not to blame your parents. But when you're a kid, who the fuck should you blame? Who's supposed to take care of you? I don't get when motherfuckers say that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So going to Taft High School and stuff like that, getting into girls and stuff like that, I started, wanting clothes and stuff like that. Because now I see we back with our moms. It's been like a year or something like that. We don't got nothing still. And I'm like, Dad, Kev, we don't got nothing. So now, we start growing to be a little bit disrespectful because I don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? And, start being disrespectful as a teen and shit like that. Because like I said, I'm outside all the time playing basketball. I was a kid that liked to play basketball all the time. So I'm always at the court, when you playing with people, niggas smell you. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of my friends that was friends with me, they didn't tease me. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they understood. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of other kids talk behind my back and stuff. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really grasp the concept like that. Plus, I knew I didn't have shit, and my mom wasn't buying me nothing. So that started frustrating me. I'm going to school. I'm in the 10th grade. I'm going to school, but I'm in school every day. People, I'm starting to get into fights. People laughing and joking at me and shit like that. That started bothering me, so I couldn't go to school like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, times come up. I'm outside with all my friends and shit, rocking all of us. Eat a hustler. God bless Mike, everybody, little, all of my guns. God bless y'all niggas, my boys, all of my niggas I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside with them all the time. It might be Easter. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, everybody got clean clothes, new shit on. I come outside, me and Kev, we ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that bother teens, you know what I'm saying? And it bothered me, man, then. A lot of times I cried on my own, you know what I'm saying? Because I had nothing, you know what I'm saying? Seeing my friends always, every time I remember, every time these Easter and shit like that come around, we kids, that's what we gonna do. That's what um, so every time that came around, I had nothing. You know what I'm saying? My friends always had, and to see that it made me mad. I started getting more angry and stuff like that at my mom's. So I started being more disrespectful, not understanding why she not taking care of us, buying us nothing. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like me, I had shiny pants and shit before Iceberg and that shit even came out, nigga. Cause my clothes were so fucking dirty and my pants and shit was so dirty it never got washed that, you know what I'm saying, I used to just iron them. And when you iron dirty ass clothes and pants and shit, it make that shiny look on them. So I had that. I always joke and tell niggas I had that shiny pants before it even came out, because I did through that. You know what I'm saying? Not being clean, being a teen and not being clean. So that stuff bothered me a lot. Then girls, I started liking girls, but I knew girls didn't want to like me and shit like that because I was dirty. And if they did like me, I was dirty. I wasn't clean. You know what I'm saying? And that bothered me. Yeah, I try to act like it didn't, but it did, because I knew I couldn't get nothing. That's why I started being disrespectful towards my mother. You know what I'm saying? Because she just wasn't doing nothing. Just a lot of gambling and stuff going on. And, as a teen, you wondering like, yo, how's all this gambling and all people doing all of this stuff? And I don't got nothing. I'm out here every day, and you know, this is what children do. This is what kids do. We not focused on jobs and shit like that. Yeah, people back in the days, it was people your parents used to love to tell you to go pack bags and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like as if you telling me to pack bags, like as if packing bags is gonna get me the shit that I need. When the kids that I know that pack bags and shit, them niggas pack bags to buy candy and all that other shit. Niggas ain't have no packing bags. So imagine your parents and the ones taking care of you that's supposed to telling you to do that. Yo, go pack bags. I don't never have no money, but you always see them gambling. You always see her with jewelry. You always see, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm seeing as a teen. How could you not want me to talk about that? And then I'm dirty and shit. Remember, I'm always, my friends always dressed dope, always got shit. You know what I'm saying? Easter time, always come outside. Niggas is always fresh. Me and Kevin had nothing. You know what I'm saying? That bothered me a lot, you know? And like I said, going to school and shit like that. I'm going to Taft High School. I'm starting to get into fights and shit with people because niggas trying to diss my shit and all that. You know, that shit put a toll on niggas, man. That shit take a toll on you. Fighting and all that shit and carrying on, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't got nothing, you know what I mean? You know, that really bothered me as a teen, man. That really did bother me as a teen, man. I acted like I didn't care, but I did care. You know what I'm saying? I just knew I wasn't going to get nothing. Nobody was going to buy me nothing. I knew my mom's ain't, you know, wasn't doing none of that. You know what I mean? So I just knew I just had to be myself. Fuck it. If I stink, I stink. That's the type of time I was on because I had nothing until, you know, I started getting with, you know, my niggas and shit, people that I looked up to, like Big Bunk, rest in peace to Big Bunk, and Lockheed, you already know my bro hands and all that, you heard, all my niggas and shit, and I just started getting with them and stuff like that, and you know, niggas, they felt for me, and they taught me the best way they knew how to taught me, put it like that. They taught me that, yo, Juice, yo, Bunk was a getting money dude, so, you know, in Harlem and all that, so, yo, Juice, yo, this is what I'll be doing. And, you know, as a teen, they don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? I'm just following. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, and not having nothing at that age at all, nobody doing nothing for you at all, and you get with older people that you look up to, and they doing certain type of things, then you gonna start doing it, and that's how I started getting in. That's how I got into the street selling drugs and doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I went to jail and all that shit because I fucking had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's not my mom's fault that I start selling drugs. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not my mom's fault. It's not your parents' fault if you go out there and you start doing that. That's just something I had to do because I had nothing. I just feel like if you took care of me like you were supposed to take care of us, and I had the things that I needed to have, I wouldn't have had to go do that. Before I even left Taft High School, I started, you know, I didn't want to leave the school. I just kept telling my mom, I don't got nothing. I don't got nothing. And she making it seem like I got everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling her, like, I'm fighting in school. Yeah, I'm tired of sitting there stinking. Now I'm understanding, you know, being a teen and not being clean. Cause I'm smelling myself. I know how it is already. Um, and certain people did say certain things to me on my block, like, yo, older people, yo, Julius, pull up your fucking pants, man. You know, I'm pretty sure they didn't want to, you know, tell me off like that because I was a child still. And then I imagine they probably just thought, like, damn, his mother don't, what the hell is his mother doing for these kids? They have to think like that if you're an adult, a real true adult, not laughing and joking at him. You ain't no adult if you laughing and joking at a little kid that's not clean. And you shouldn't be saying, damn, his parents is not taking care of him. So, you know, that frustrated me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Um, I heard about Job Corps and stuff like that. You know, when you a teen, you hear about stuff and you think you know mad shit. You know what I'm saying? I swore I thought I knew mad shit and I ain't know shit. You know what I'm saying? What I did know is that, yo, I wanted to I wanted to start going. I heard about Job Corps, and I said, okay, damn, Job Corps. Not because of school. The first thing I noticed in the word in that was job. So I'm like, damn, I could get me a job. I started thinking like that, but I don't got no high school diploma. I'm not even out of high school yet. But this is what I had to start thinking about because I wasn't really on selling drugs. I ain't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just walking around as a regular kid, like I said, smoking, trying to get money, $2.50. You chip in with niggas just to smoke. You broke. You a kid. You don't got nothing. So that's the that. So when I heard Job Corps, I heard job. I'm like, damn, I can get a job. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding that I need to go to school and not understanding the full program. So, I told my mother about it. It's not like, but before I was telling her, I'm like, Dag, I don't need to. I wasn't talking about no Job Corps. I was just saying I need clothes. I don't got nothing. I'm in school. You see me crying and shit like that, and she still just did nothing. So, it is what it is, and that frustrated me a lot, and I just got disrespectful with her, and I just wasn't listening to her no more. Because she did nothing for me. She wasn't showing me that she wanted to do nothing for us. We just came back to our mother, and that was it. After a while, that's what I noticed, and that's what I understood, and that's why I started rebelling and not listening to her, doing what I want to do, because I had no choice. Now, I still don't know about no selling no drugs. I started learning a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Niggas was hustling in the hood and all that. You know what I mean? So, we had little buildings up there. I'd be in there with the twos, the 2 for $5. One nigga have trays and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Out there, you got chased plenty of times by the police out of the buildings and shit like that, running up on roofs and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I started getting and trying to sell drugs. I used to come home with a couple of dollars because I ain't know no fucking better. 15 or 30, 40, maybe $50 I probably made and was acting like that shit was the world and shit. And I still ain't take that money and go buy no clothes and none of that shit with because I'm still a child. I don't know. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm running around smoking weed and shit like that. That's why you need guidance. And your parents, that's what they are. So, you know, after a while, once I got with bunk and all that shit, started going across to Harlem and all that, 44th and 7th and all that. Started doing little shit down there, hustling here and there with them. But I still wasn't getting no money. It's not like I was putting money in my pocket or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I was this little man and that was it, yo. And whatever else he had, agenda he had or whatever. Which is cool. I still love him. That was still my big bro. You know what I'm saying? But, you get older and you understand a little better. So, I was doing that, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't have anything, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm introduced into selling drugs and shit. So, you know, selling drugs, but I ain't making no money. You know what I mean? It ain't like niggas that's behind me. It's like, yo, Juice, yo, put money away, yo, Juice. Or when I did do something, yo, here, yo, this is 150 for you, Juice. Yo, go buy some sneakers and shit. You don't got nothing. It's not like niggas did that for me. Niggas did not do that for me. So I don't want to fucking front. I love niggas because niggas is my big bros and shit like that, but niggas ain't do that for me. No, I was just selling drugs now that I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, now I'm introducing to selling drugs. So next thing like I said, I'm on the block. I'm dirty every day. I'm stinking. Now girls are starting to like me. These girls that I want to go out with, I want to try to talk to and shit like that. And I know I can't because I stink and shit like that. Like I said, with the Job Corps thing, and I was telling her, I found out about the Job Corps, but I was just before that, I was telling her I just need clothes, buy me shit so I can go to fuck to school. I don't even got books or nothing. This lady just act like she did all of that shit, yo. Like I don't know nothing. Like I'm not outside dealing with pain and my friends and other kids and dealing with the fact of seeing my friends with shit and I don't got shit. I don't know what this lady think, but that's her. That's where her mind at is with this. Um, so and when I brought the Job Corps thing to her, she so much didn't want to take care of us that she said, yeah, that's a good idea. You should go to Job Corps. So now when she did take me up there because I mentioned, but I had to mention it to her. I shouldn't have to mention Job Corps. You should be taking care of us, period, and doing what we need and giving us the things that we need. We're children. I don't give a fuck if we teenagers. We're children. And that's that. You got to take care of your fucking children. Right? So You know, then she started stressing that. Yeah, you need to go to Job Corps. I'm gonna take you to Job Corps. Not even worrying about buying, just saying, you know what, let me buy him some shit so he can go to school and be presented. I hear what he's saying to me. She ain't care about that. She only cared about her shit and her gambling and what she wanted to do. And her looking good, right? So now she's stressing that Job Corps shit, like, yeah. You go to Job Corps, you go to Job Corps. I'm like, all right, so we go. She did take me up there. We go up there. Now you hear the real shit. Because now we sitting in front of the counselors and shit. And they telling her, yeah, it's Job Corps. You don't just get no job. This kid is 15, 16 years old. Yeah, we accept him, but he's going to have to go to school. And you still going to, and if he comes in here, you're going to have to provide things until we set him up the way you have to provide clothing, book. You're going to have to provide all that stuff for him while he's in here and we getting him started.